Hey guys, how's it going? Tis back again with episode number 39 of the Pack Only Road to Glory. Now, obviously, in the last episode, we were actually able to stave off relegation and managed to ensure that we stayed in Division 1 for one more season with just a couple of games to spare, picking up that big win. And it was good enough to see us into the next season. We also picked up a Yunus Kabul in a pack that we bought at the end of the last episode as well, which is a very nice pull. And he actually slots in to make his debut, including Gareth Barry as well, just sat ahead of him in the 4-2-3-1 that has been so successful for us since we switched to it. So we're hoping for more of the same in this one. And you'll notice in this first game as well, in the bottom right hand corner, you see it says Guests 1. So I think that this is actually the first time that we've come up against a team that's playing with two players in this series so far. But we've come up against a 5 at the back. Thank you, Nepenthes, for making this formation popular. 5 at the back, Brazilian side, a lot of pace in there. No, I'm not sure who the strikers are, to be honest, but you've got Kelvin, Carlos Eduardo and Robinho in the midfield three, so very, very pacey. And it was going to be a challenge up against this guy, but fortunately we were able to get the lead early on, just 12-13 minutes in. Really, really fortunate with the way the ball drops back to Chu Young Park, but he was on hand. I thought actually he was going to be offside, but he actually wasn't, so he was on hand to put us into the lead at 1-0, and then we're actually able to make it 2-0 here, just as Thiago picking up the ball off the defender after he was lax in possession, and Manu Del Morel powers it into the back of the net. And there was a little bit of lag in this match, which you can see there, which was very, very frustrating as we pushed further on into the second half. I think this guy's actually from France, according to his gamer tag. So unfortunate there. Kelvin here having a decent shot, well safe from the keeper, and I tried to ensure that I had a man on the line to block any remaining shots, but unfortunately he was able to get the rebound off the goalkeeper again, and this time it fell straight to the other striker, Leandro, who powered it into the back of the net. You see with my guy on the line trying to cover, but just couldn't do it. The shot was well placed away from him, so he brought it back to 2-1. Actually think that ball went out there as Chu Young Park chases the ball down before it goes out of possession or out of the line for a throw-in. But Manu Del Morel, after he dived in with the defender, had plenty of space to be able to pick his spot and tidily find the bottom corner to make it 3-1, and that is of course how the game finished, with that being the final chance in like the 93rd, 94th minute. So we went into to have a look at some player stats. We actually haven't done that so far in this series, which is quite surprising actually, considering we're almost 40 episodes in. But of the current squad, it is Carasso and Chu Young Park that have played the most. Park's actually got 23 goals in 27 games, which is absolutely superb, as well as Manu Del Morel picking up 13 in 10. So both of them in that La Liga heavily influenced side, picking up a lot of goals. But I actually, as you just saw on screen, put some contracts into the trade pile just to try and raise a bit of cash, because if we open another pack we will get those contracts back, and if we can sell all three of those for 400 coins, then we will have enough for another pack. But I don't know whether you just saw, just before he actually accepted going into this game, it did flick around to say Guests 1 again. So we actually come up against a second team in a row after not playing a single game against two people. We get two in a row, which is really, really weird. But he has a very, very good Premier League side, 4-1-2-1-2, a lot of pace up top with Balotelli and Sturridge. Not much pace at the back with Mertesacker, Ferdinand and Patrice Evra, so maybe we'd be able to play on that, but it is a very, very solid midfield with Fellaini holding Mata at the front of the diamond with a lot of pace out wide with Gareth Bale and Hatem Ben Arfa with the skills on the far side. And we're unfortunate to go 1-0 down here. If Sturridge had hit that cleanly, then I think Carasso, the goalkeeper, would have been able to save it, but unfortunately he kind of scuffs the shot and it cannons down into the ground and bounces over the goalkeeper, and then he just got an instant second goal straight away, which is extremely frustrating because we were having just as many chances as this guy and just as good chances as this guy, although that is a superb lob from Mario Balotelli to put him 3-0 up in the 37th minute. So we went in at half-time 3-0 down. And I don't know how I was 3-0 down. I really was having some genuinely fantastic chances. So you'll be able to see from the stats as well as they pop up on screen. We've had more possession and just as many chances as he has. And to be completely honest, they were better chances. He was getting a lot of fortune, and that was kind of amplified here when he picked up a fourth. Balotelli just... It's a poor shot, but keeper really should hold that. Carasso should do a lot better with that, and they love a brick drop, just as I have been recently. But we began a comeback. Chu Young Park is going to push down the right-hand side. He's going to cut inside Ferdinand, who's slow on the turn, and then slot the ball into the back of the net in the 64th minute with his left foot. And just a couple of minutes later, we were actually able to make it 4-2. Chuyan Park again getting through. Unfortunately, the shot was well saved from Julio Cesar, and he was thwarting me all game long. Really, really annoying. But the ball is eventually going to drop to Kabul after Retiago's shot is blocked, and Kabul somehow manages to tidily slot it underneath the goalkeeper to bring us back to within 2 goals of him with just over 20 minutes to go, and then Chuyan Park was set free again. This time Patrice Evra probably would have done a bit better had he had more stamina, but couldn't hold off the challenge from Park, and then Park had the pace to get away from Rio Ferdinand. Powers it in with an OP near post shot to make it 4-3, and we had 15 minutes to go out and get a winner, or go out and get an equalising goal, and this would have gone in, and that would have been 4-4 with 10 minutes to go had he not been half a yard offside. So extremely disappointing not to be able to bring that back and pick up any points from this game, but of course we do have the 3 points from the earlier game, so an indifferent start. Again, confirmation in the stats how dominant we were, a lot of chances, a lot of possession, and we just couldn't make the most of it. Unfortunately, Julio Cesar was in fantastic form, and Carasso just wasn't in that game. But 3 points from 2 games is decent enough. It's enough. It's decent enough form to keep us up. If we'll challenge for a title or not, we'll have to wait and see if we can put some more form together later on in the season. But the contracts did sell, so we have raised just under 1,200 coins with, of course, the EA 5% tax that they take off us. So that has given us 7,700 coins, which is definitely enough to go and pick up another gold premium pack. So hopefully we can pull someone decent in this one. And 7,500 coins is the cost. And the player that's going to flash up on screen is actually Scotty Parker, which is fantastic actually, because he is a better player than Gareth Barry, and also a stroke of luck, he's actually in a 4-2-3-1 as well, and plays for Tottenham of course, so he will fit in very, very well in front of Yunus Kabul. And another good squad player we're going to pick up is actually Deco as well. Not very fast, but as you would expect with Deco, very, very good on the ball. And we also pick up another home kit that we will change to our active kit for the next episode. But some decent goals, decent points. Unfortunate not to pick up at least a point from the last game of the episode, but a decent pack, so I guess that kind of makes up for it a little bit. So that is going to wrap this episode up, guys. Please, of course, feel free to leave the video a like if you could be so kind. There are links on screen in the big window to the previous video in this series. If you didn't see it, it was, of course, the survival or relegation episode, and then in the little window, a link to a random video from earlier on in the week on this channel. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.